3 seconds. So this is the PCS 35. You can kind of help me a little bit, Carrie. Explain what kind of goes on inside this part here. Are these going to be...
that's a 1/2 micron filter.
There's 2 of those?
There are 2 per system. Yes, continuous filtration. And inside the unit, the user loads a parts basket full of parts onto the tray, and the unit agitates up and down in the solvent bath, and the nozzles also provide agitation.
And is that consistent on both sides?
There's 3 and there's 4.
Okay, 3 on this side. I'll go backwards.
Because of the way
1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Can you explain kind of the little the screen mesh down here?
That just strains out the sludge from the parts.
Okay.
It's manual.
Is there something that goes back into here?
Oh, that's back from the filters.
Okay.
The clean solvent.
Excellent.
The solvent stays clean,
So it's being circulated, coming through here, going through
yes.
1/2 micron, and then coming back out through here. Okay.
Exactly. And we have a pump at the bottom.
And that's going to be over here.
That's the filtration pump and the agitation. And the box to the left is for the volatile organic compounds filtration. It's a carbon-based system. Filters out down to 25 grams per liter.
25 grams per liter. Fantastic.
VOCs.
And what's kind of the typical life of these carbon? Are they bags?
Yes.
Okay.
It's loose carbon within filter bags.
Okay.
But typically the amount of carbon in that right now is 150 hours.
150 hours, okay. So they could, in theory, use a higher VOC content chemical and get it down to 25 grams per liter?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it was tested on a Type II.
Oh, fantastic. Let me mention that here. Can you explain kind of the temperature gauge here, if there's any upper lower limits as far as heat is concerned?
That's actually a pressure gauge for the
filters. Excuse me, pressure gauge. I'm looking at
40 psi, the filters will need to be changed.
Okay.
Between 30 and 40 is a good.
So it's color coded as far as green, yellow, and red. So you're going to want to stop, as you're approaching that 40 psi.
Correct.
Okay. And what's kind of is there a rating, if you will, for those interior filters as far as how many hours before you hit the 40 psi?
That has not been tested on this machine.
Okay. No worries.
But
all right.
For the other parts washers, I believe it's 6 months, 8 months.
6 months, 8 months?
Yeah, of course it depends on those.
Absolutely, but just kind of some sense. And these controls up here, is that?
Yes, that controls the machine. The user punches in an amount of time that they'd like the cycle to run and just press start.
Is there a range of this as little as much as? I mean,
as little as 1 minute.
Okay.
And I believe it's 99 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it can go for it, and you just close the door.
Yes. You can
and walk away.
Okay.
And you can watch your parts agitate and down.
Is there a light inside by chance?
There is a light. It's an LED light, so it will probably never need to be changed.
Right.
There's an emergency stop button. This isn't on right now, but everything shuts down. The agitating stops completely. Same with the door opening. You open the door, it's like a dishwasher.
Gotcha.
It will stop in its tracks.
Excellent.
And you have to physically turn it back on to start it again.
Good stuff. Is there anything in the back we would be seeing if we were to?
Sure.
I don't know if there's any other little nozzles or intake valves or.
In the back is the cylinders that controls the agitation.
Okay.
It's an air over oil system.
Air over oil system. And what is that?
I was afraid you'd ask that.
Yeah, sorry. We'll edit this later.
I guess I'm not really clear on that too much.
But it will go. What's kind of the range of motion in terms of the baskets lowering and rising? What's kind of that service area?
I think it's about 7 inches.
7 inches?
Or
Okay.
so, you know, Richard can answer some of our questions about
Okay.
the air or about oil. It's like they're pushing against each other or something of that nature.
And do we know what these
Those
are?
are mufflers. It's noisy without the mufflers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how frequently are those having to be replaced?
That I don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it requires the 80 to 120 psi.
Oh, okay. So you need
Yeah.
an air intake, and then what's the power source requirement? Is it just a 110?
120.
120.
Yeah.
Okay, right
And
over
actually,
here.
there's an air regulator inside in the pneumatic system that is factory set for 80 to 120.
Gotcha.
You want me to take that box out from underneath so you can see more inside?
Sure.
Which one's it got?
He's going to take the air box out so we can look in
Oh,
at the pneumatics.
terrific.
Yeah. And this particular machine, you'll see there's some feeds and there's other electronics. That's an EMI requirement. It's been EMI tested.
Is that is that a Navy specification?
Yes.
Okay.
Electromagnetic
So for most
interference.
commercial applications, that wouldn't be a required testing.
Yeah, but if they wanted it.
Right, right.
Or the, I mean, it's been shock and
Oh, here we
vibrated
go.
testing. It's been clobbered from the bottom with a gigantic hammer. And nothing, well, the service door fell off after it stopped, after the hammer disengaged and this door. So we just put on longer hinges and that was it.
Wow.
It survived.
So this is again all the pneumatic controls over here?
That's right.
Okay.
This is the air regulator that it's factory set. There was a gauge on here.
Okay, so you just have that default to the 80 to 120?
Yeah.
Okay, just
And
making sure.
that's a requirement for the house for the Navy.
Okay.
And that's what it needs. I mean, that's how we built it.
Terrific. Well, this is great. So this is what you're going to get if you get the PCS 35. What would be the only difference for the Navy versus commercial? Is there some special, is it the exterior? Is there anything on the metals used, or was it just the
No.
EMI?
It would be all the EMI, you know, it's a bunch of little electronic things that wouldn't be needed.
Okay.
Also, the nozzles would be optional.
Okay. So they have a choice of getting that particular nozzle, or what would be the alternative? Just that?
No nozzle.
No nozzle, just spray out. Broader mist then?
No, just no.
Oh, no.
No, just up and down.
Oh, just be up and down.
Yeah.
So okay, so this would be an option
If they want extra.
if you wanted
power.
additional. Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is some EMI components that are needed
Yeah.
to be on the machine.
Are those
But
brass or copper?
beryllium copper.
Beryllium copper. Okay, so that's not required as part of the standard, but for the EMI for Navy it is. Okay. Very nice.